Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming. I'm Joanne Francavilla, and I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at BBB, and I'd like to welcome you all to our Trust Talk, and especially welcome our presenter today, Peter Davis. Peter helps leaders of startups, small to medium-sized B2B service companies, nonprofits, and institutions of higher learning craft and tell stories that attract their most natural audience. People that actually want to buy from you, work for you, invest in you, fund you, or volunteer for you. Peter's had 25 years of business development experience, 15 years leading brand engagements and interactive workshops around branding, building, storytelling, and how to create powerful pitches. He also has 40 years of playwriting and directing experience. And a fun fact, with all that he has going on, he has managed to get a brown belt in Aikido, correct?
Yes, okay. You got it. You nailed it.
So with that, I will turn you over to Peter.
Thank you. That was a great introduction. And that was half my pitch today, too. So I'm just kidding. So here we are together in this place at this time for this reason. And I'm grateful for that. I think this is a good reason to gather. And I tip my hat and salute all of the business people that are here today, and even the ones who are not. You're here because you believe deep down that there's something waiting for us on the other side of isolation that is worthy. And that your vision and hard work and innovation during this time and your resilience during this difficult time will be rewarded. And it will. You should be. So my contribution to that end is to help you with your most valuable asset, the one thing you own as business people that your competition cannot replicate or steal, and that's your story. Now, as a dramatist, I get stories, and we don't need that one, not now. No to that. Yeah. I have a really good understanding of how stories connect with people emotionally. And that's what we're trying to do. We don't want to attract people by price. We want to attract people through our values. And the good news is how to do that isn't a secret. It's not a proprietary system that you buy from somebody and work the program at their mercy and on their terms. This is universal storytelling. We've been doing it together and for each other since the dawn of humankind. So we're natural storytellers. And what we're learning today is it goes something like this regarding storytelling in business. It's the deeper meaning of your story, not the plot, that connects with people. And it's the deeper meaning and/or your higher purpose besides making money that keeps you grounded no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the universe, no matter what the marketplace, no matter what gets thrown at us. The deeper our roots, the root system for our story, the more the leaves and the branches are going to wave freely and be able to absorb disruption and chaos. So, what is the point of business? The point of business is to attract and keep customers, to get customers and keep them. I'm going to do a quick timeout and stop right there. A couple of caveats. This is going to be an overview. I can't solve everybody's problem in 45 minutes, and I think we know that, but I can give you a really good taste of why exploring the deeper meaning of your brand and story is important. And when you leave, you're going to have some storytelling templates that you can use, kind of a starter kit to add to your toolkit to get you started on a values-driven story. And you'll have my email at the end on the last slide. So if you want to reach out to me and kind of go over some of the things we've talked about, or show me what you've come up with with these templates and want my feedback, you're welcome to do that. Another caveat is I have a cat. Hopefully he won't jump up on here and get in the way, but he's a lovely creature, and he's free to roam the house. Third and last is, if you have a question, if you're in the audience and you have a question, or you want a little bit more explanation on a certain point, you can raise your hand if I can see you on the screen, or you can put it into the chat field and we'll address it, either in real time or at the end when we have time to do a little Q&A. Okay, so we're in business to get customers. I get it. The best way to attract your most loyal customer is through storytelling. And the story is wants to be, what is your higher purpose besides making money? Yes, you have to make money to do the good you're here to do, but it would be nice if we were clear on what your higher purpose is. Is it to make people happy? Is it to make people feel safe? Is it to give people the tools to be in control? Is it to build community? Once you have an understanding of this, then the language that you use to attract your most natural audience becomes clear, and that beacon shines brighter, or that radio frequency is much easier to dial into to get the audience that you're looking for. So now when you think about your story as not, I sell this, that I believe in this for this reason. And if you share my belief, this is going to be a great fit. That's a whole different proposition. That's a whole different value proposition. And it kind of makes you wonder, what am I really selling? Yes, I'm selling coaching. Yes, I'm selling consulting. But what am I really selling? Is it clarity? Could be. Is it helping people recognize their true power? And what are the ingredients and the characteristics and the traits and the experiences that, in working together in harmony, give you that power? That may be what I'm really selling, is access to your power and when to turn it on and when to tailor it in a way that meets the specific needs of the people that you're trying to do good for. Not the people you're trying to sell to, the people you're trying to do good for. So we're all trying to make a difference in the world. If you can clarify and articulate what that difference is, you're going to be ahead of the game. Okay, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to what are you really selling later. So here we are, we're in the middle of a pandemic. The world has changed. Everything has changed. The way we do business has changed. What matters to us perhaps has changed. I, as a human being, have changed. Do I need to reflect this in my business story? Probably so. A lot of people are. Oh, we care about you. I feel your pain, and this is what we're going to do for you. Well, if everybody's doing that, it kind of loses its power. So beyond I care, what's the story? So where do you want to land when this is over and we're back to open doors and no masks and business as usual, or whatever that means? How do we go back to work and fulfill our missions? Do we return to where we were before we were locked down? Is that realistic? Is that even strategic? Has your business model changed in a way that is useful? Has what matters to you changed? Has your customers' expectations of you changed? Has social distancing brought out something in you and in your business that's worth building on? And is there a way to keep your identity without but tell a different story without betraying that identity? I think the answer is yes. So I put forth that the story we're telling others needs to reflect these undeniable changes that we're all going through. And those who succeed in these difficult and uncertain times will use this new story to paint a picture of what the future looks like when you succeed, when you fulfill your mission. Yes, I sell widgets, but my mission is to keep people safe, because that widget is what keeps the airplane from falling apart at 40,000 feet, or keeps the car stable at 80 miles an hour. That's a different story than saying, oh, I can sell you this part cheaper than the other guy. No, this part was engineered exclusive with specific tolerances to keep the vehicle safe. You bought a high performance vehicle, you're going to be driving it over the speed limit. We know it. We got to take that into account. So what does the future look like when you succeed? If you can paint that picture and then describe how your values help get us there, then I may want to be a part of that story. As a buyer, as a partner, as a volunteer, as someone who simply refers business to you. I want to play a part in the role. I want to play a role in the story of making a difference. And if you're clear what that difference is and why it matters, that's how you attract your audience. And the sales and the repeat and the referrals will come very naturally as a byproduct of that. So the story you want to tell is the story about the difference you want to make in the world and why that matters. It's a story that's rooted in values and a worldview and a belief system. At the dawn of humankind, let's go back there for 1 minute. If we hunted bear, that story that we told our tribe, that we celebrated on our cave walls, was a lot different than the story of the corn people that grew corn, is different from the people who fish salmon in the great Northwest, is different from the story of the people who hunted buffalo on the Great Plains. They all had a belief system. They all had rituals and rites that initiated their young people into the tribe. Brands that do that, that are successful and stand the test of time, understand that. And there's no reason why the rest of us shouldn't be able to dial into those story techniques as well. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help share some of that. So, core values. How can we use core values to set ourselves apart? Let me give you some examples of terrific taglines. Just do it. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. If you're buying athletic shoes for $150 or more, sky's the limit. To make a fashion statement, just do it probably isn't for you, unless it's attached to a particular athlete. Just do it is a challenge. And just do it is a beacon to people who are driven, motivated from the inside, not the outside. Think different. Apple, everybody, global brand, everybody gets that. Think different isn't a challenge, it's an invitation. All of you out there that think different, that aren't just faces in the crowd, come to us. We will satisfy that. And people flock to them and they stay with them and they upgrade when it's time to upgrade, and they spend a lot of money to be a part of that mindset, that worldview. Live to ride, ride to live. Motorcycles, we all know who that is, Harley Davidson. People put their brand on their, tattoo their brand on their bodies. How strong is that? And who buys an $80,000, $100,000 motorcycle today? It ain't outlaws. It's people who want to feel like an outlaw for 2 hours on a weekend, on a Sunday, even though during the week they may be dentists or lawyers or accountants. They're not outlaws. They want to feel like outlaws. So how does your customer want to feel? Can you address that? How do they want to feel? And what can you do to help them feel that way? That's important. Here's another good one, and I love this one. Start with trust. How about that one? That's the Better Business Bureau. And it's not a challenge. It's biblical. It's like, start with trust, feed the poor, welcome your neighbor. Love is the answer. It's universal. and it's core to the core. So I love that one. Here's another one. Go green. Everybody gets go green. You're either in it, you either for it, or you don't care. But here's how they finish it off. Go green. It's our aim to improve the world one story at a time by reporting environmental news that inspires readers to share and take action. That's on their website. That's first thing you see. It's not just a slogan. And it doesn't just say what they do, it tells the story of why they do it, why it's important. So people like, God, I'm blanking on his name, and he deserves all the respect in the world. The why person, Sinek, Simon Sinek. Find your why. This is a part of that. What do you do? Why does it matter? How does your audience want to feel? What do you want them to do? If you can make all these things clear, bingo. So I'm a small business, local. I'm a dry cleaner. I'm a pet sitter. I'm a hardware store. Maybe I'm a boutique shop of some sort, but still in all, there's a lot of competition out there doing the same thing and claiming the same thing. They're claiming value, they're claiming quality, they're claiming diversity, and all those things are important, but they're not differentiators. So you want it, the best way to differentiate is through your values and your belief system. Everything then else is an extension of those values and beliefs. How to get there requires some soul searching. And when you ask yourself big questions like, well, what do I do? How do I do it? What makes it work? What makes me different? Why does that even matter? What's my higher purpose? Where does my passion lie? These are important questions and often difficult to ask. And sometimes when you look at your answers, you go, wow, there's no alignment. I'm all over the place with this. So being able to push back against your own argument and seeing what holds up under stress, then you start tapping into things that are irreducible about you. And what do I mean by that? Am I earthy or am I ethereal? I, the human, am earthy. My offering, storytelling, can be a little esoteric. I need to understand the difference. When people are talking to Peter the human, I have a certain way of expressing myself. When they're talking to Peter the consultant around stories, that's a different kind of language and a different value proposition. You know, what's the difference between my belief system and what my business is offering? Or what's the difference between the belief system of my business and the product that I offer? That's pretty deep and a little complicated, but if you can just begin that investigation, it will open up so many insights to you that you can just sit with and explore and journal around when you have 5 minutes and you're drinking coffee, that it will open up a whole new avenue of thinking about what you're offering. How do core values drive your mission? Here's a mission statement from a accounting firm in Hunt Valley. They're an accounting firm. They're all about numbers, but their mission centers around people. And it goes something like this. Our mission is to find good people and take care of them. Find good people and take care of them. Not work the numbers. Oh my God, of course they do that. They better. But if they find good people who believe in people, in this case, their clients, everything will take care of itself. All right. Does your business help people find happiness? Does your business help people achieve? That's what my business does. Does your business help people have love and community? Does your business help people feel safe? If you can land on one of those, that will help you with your language, and it will help you better to understand what your customers are looking for. Are they looking to belong, to feel like they belong? Are they looking to feel safe? Are they looking to achieve things? Are you helping them find happiness? So if people who want to find happiness, that's Disney. Come to Disney. I guarantee you that is their promise. You will be happy. Oprah is helping people find happiness by being the smartest person in the room. If you listen to my show, you read my books, follow my blog, I will give you the answers to being a better person. If you wear Eddie Bauer and drive a Jeep and have a off-trail bike on the back of that Jeep, you're an explorer looking for happiness, looking for the great wide open. If you're helping people achieve, maybe you're helping people transform from one state to another. How to coach a young adult to be the master of their craft. It may be as somebody who's helping somebody master the instrument that they practice for 10,000 hours. Who knows? If you're helping people have love and community, maybe you're a membership organization. Maybe you're a gym. Who knows? If you help people feel safe, maybe you're a bank. So understanding what your people are looking for really helps a lot. The next slide. And take screenshot. Oh, you'll get this presentation afterwards, I understand. So you'll be able to work on these things. If you get stuck or like, it made sense when you were talking, Peter, barely. I need a little more help on this. Reach out. I'll help you. Finish this sentence. I see a day when, and those are some examples, but take a minute and finish that. I see a day when I use my camera to take a beautiful portrait that makes people feel confident and powerful. I see a day when all people feel confident and powerful. Wonderful. How do you do that? With a camera, with an exercise program, with name it. I see a day when all people go to bed and feel safe. What am I offering? Is it a home security system? I see a day when mothers I see a day when mothers open their door and let their kid go out and play and feel a sigh of relief. What are you selling? Could be any number of things. But what you're selling isn't as significant as the feeling or the picture of what the future looks like when they are working with you, when they have what it is that you offer. I see a day when people use stories to attract their most natural audience. And when that happens, when you fulfill your mission and I fulfill mine and everyone fulfills their missions, the world is a better place. I see a day when all women love themselves for who they are, not trying to fit a narrow vision of what beauty is based on magazines. I see a day when all women claim their power and feel their own beauty. What are you selling? Could be any number of infinite things. But when you can paint a picture of what the future looks like, when you get what you want, or when you accomplish your mission, then I can decide whether I'm for it and how I want to be a part of that story. Anyone have any questions or anything at this point? Is everyone good?
I'll keep an eye on the chat, but nothing in the chat box quite yet.
Okay. The next slide. So, what sets you apart? Really pay attention here. And what's bold is just an example. It's the questions on the left that are important. And this is your homework. Of all the things I've offered, the last one, I see a day when, combined with this, what sets you apart, is key. Who is your ideal customer? And be as specific as you know how to be. As specific as you possibly can. Niche down. Fear not that you might exclude 80% of the marketplace. Fear not that you might exclude 80% of potential customers, because your story will have no resonance unless it is specific. And let me give you an example. Hollywood gets this. They get it so well. Let me give you an example. How many people like boxing movies? Not many. How many people have seen or have heard of or understand the story of the movie Rocky? Just about everybody. Why is that? Because it's very specific. It's not a boxing movie. It's a movie about a bum from a Philadelphia neighborhood who finds love. Boxing is the vehicle. It's a love story about a bum from the neighborhood in Philadelphia, and he doesn't even want to win the fight. He just wants redemption. He wants to go the distance with the champ and feel like somebody worthy of love, which happens to be Adrian. So if you track that movie, Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 as a boxing movie, we've seen all those before. If you do it as a love story, it is eternal. It is universal. Everyone understands. Everyone's emotions watching that movie and watching him scream for her at the end. My God, we fall apart at that. It's so gorgeous. The fight didn't make any difference. But it was the specificity of being a bum from a neighborhood in Philadelphia that makes it work. That's what makes it universal. So let's say my ideal customer is an educated suburban soccer mom with kids. What kind of car do you think she's looking for? A performance vehicle? Easy on gas? Safe. What might that be? A Volvo? A Subaru? What is your ideal customer's biggest problem? So the example I have here is just mine. Who's your ideal customer? For me, people, leaders with a vision that I can appreciate. If the vision is I need to make money, I need market share, I need to annihilate my competition, I need to cut costs, I'm not interested. If you have a higher purpose of some sort, or you have some kind of mission that I can recognize, that I can get behind, that's who I'm looking for, and I will help take that story to another level so that you can attract more allies to your cause, more resources, more funding, more volunteers, more customers, higher level of talent, more people to your board. What is my ideal customer's biggest problem? In my case, I'm a leader with a vision, and it ain't working. I can't inspire anybody. I can't even inspire my own staff. They just bolt for the door at 5 o'clock every day to go do what they really want, whatever their real passion is. It's not at work. Well, that's a problem. I can't get funding. I can't get anyone to sit on my board. So I've targeted a leader with a vision that as an ideal customer. What's their biggest problem? I can't inspire people. I have a mission. I'm responsible for this mission, for this nonprofit, let's say, and I can't get anyone to help me. I can't get funding. How do they feel about that problem? I feel like a failure. My mission's going to fail. It took me 3 years to get this nonprofit up and running, and now I'm on the edge of failure. I don't know what to do. So we've got this leader with a terrific vision, and it's going to fall apart. How do I help them solve that problem and erase that negative emotion? I use storytelling techniques in a creative process. So work yourself through this template. Who's my ideal customer? Let's take a photographer. It's a woman who wants more than a headshot. She wants something that inspires her. She wants a picture that when she looks at it makes her feel a certain way. And she can't do it on her own. She needs an image of herself standing in her full power, radiating confidence, so that she can remind herself that that's who I am. What's this person's biggest problem? I just think I'm a face in the crowd. I keep chasing beauty standards that have nothing to do with who I am or what I want or my value and my worth. I feel worthless. How can a photographer help them solve that problem? I will give you a rich experience. I will make you feel safe. I will make you feel loved. I will show you the parts of you that shine through from your soul. Great. And you will take with you evidence of that moment, a moment that will last forever, that will be handed down from generation to generation of, here's my mom, here's my grandmother, here's my great-great-grandmother, the matriarch of our family. Wow, that's a powerful offering. Other than a headshot, which are a dime a dozen. So those are a few templates. A visionary template in terms of, I see a day when. This is a kind of story template. This is what I do. This is who I do it for. This is why it's important to them. This is what makes our offering different from anyone else's. So Q&A time. Lay it on me. Who's got questions? Anything specific regarding your business, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're afraid of going back to business as usual? What's the difference between my story, my higher purpose, my vision, my mission? How do all those things work together? Those are complicated, but important to know the difference.
All right, I'm unmuting myself here, so if we do get a question, I can read it out to you.
Okay.
I'll also check email.
Okay.
Give it about another minute here.
Okay.
Nothing via email yet.
Seems like the template is something a board of directors should be using. If you, yes, here's a template for a board of directors.
All right.
Who do we serve? If I'm on the board of directors for a nonprofit or any business, I want to know, who do we serve? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want them to accomplish? What programs or activities do we offer to get them there? And the money question of all time is, to what end? So if you're trying to make an appeal to funders, whether it's investors in the venture capital world or funders in the nonprofit world, to what end? Who's my ideal customer? What do they want? How do I help them get that? And when they get it, what has changed in their world? Part of the story has to be showing us what is the change in the world that you're offering, and what is the change in the world that your customer gets when they receive and you're offering. There was another question that popped up.
Yep, we have two more actually. We have one from Sandra. Can you give us an example of using a storytelling technique to clarify your mission?
A storytelling technique to clarify my mission. Well, all storytelling should revolve around the 3-act structure. Act 1 is the situation. I need a photograph. I need a headshot. Act 2 is the complication, which may be, oh my God, there's so many photographers out there, I can't tell how to make a decision. You know, they're all claiming the same things, and now it's a matter of price. I don't want to pay too much. I don't want to, get what I pay for, kind of thing. I don't know what to do. So, they may have a couple of meetings with different people and feel unsatisfied. They may actually buy on price and not like the results and have to start all over again. Those are a lot of obstacles that someone has to do to get a simple photograph. And it's a lot of time and a lot of effort. What's the turning point? The turning point may be that I made a choice, it was wrong, now I have to start over, and I'm going back to that person that I had a very good instinct for, that cost a little bit more, but I understood them, and they seem to be the best listeners in the bunch. What's the climax? Man, I was intimidated. I thought I'd be intimidated by sitting in front of a camera and having to let my inner light shine. What does that even mean? But they guided me through it. They made me feel comfortable. I love the experience. It was like going to a spa. That's a climax. What's Act 3? The resolution. I feel like $1,000,000. I've got this photograph hanging right by my desk. When I'm wavering in my confidence, I look at that and I talk to myself and I go, yes, you can do it. Business is great. I feel great. Life is good. That's the resolution. So that kind of storytelling will always serve you, no matter what the theme is. If you can work any story through that 3-act process, what's the situation? What's the complication? What's the resolution? Through the filter of your customer, trying to find you, finding you, working with you, and being transformed by that process, that's a great story. And that's your mission through their eyes, which is even better, because if the story is about you, well, good for you. If the story is about the people you're trying to help, even better. So your mission becomes implied through the values and the themes organized and processed through that story. Does that help? Was that helpful? Okay.
Great. And we had maybe one last question. Got a little bit of time. Let's see. Should businesses rethink their mission in light of the coronavirus?
Yes, and not just because of the coronavirus. I would always be rethinking my mission, and I would always be comparing my mission statement to other people's who are in my space, and comparing those mission statements and seeing how many of us are using the same language, the same themes, the same characteristics, the same values, because all of those just end up being they don't have any power anymore. And if your vision is a picture of what the future looks like, your mission supports that by declaring the values and the beliefs that get you there. Now, 9 out of 10 mission statements, if you look at them, you go, that's not a mission statement. That is simply an elevator pitch. This is what we do. We provide quality, this or that, with excellent customer service. We believe in integrity, and we're found, and it's like, man, we've heard all this before. That's just explaining what you do. It's just explaining what you do. It doesn't explain why it matters. It isn't attached to a vision of what a better future looks like. Look, I don't care if you're changing oil. What's the higher purpose? Am I helping people feel safe by making sure that their cars are safe? Am I helping people maintain their mobility, which to me is freedom? As long as my car's running, I have agency. I can do what I want. I can conduct business. I can recreate. I can take a Sunday drive. If I don't have to worry about, whether my car is safe or not, or well maintained, I'm good to go. So are you selling oil changes, or are you selling safety? Are you helping people? If it's a German car, that oil change is a lot different and a lot more expensive than if it's a secondhand used car that you're just commuting to and from work from. It's a different approach. It's a different language. So, but to get back to mission statements, play devil's advocate with it. Go to some objective outside party who kind of thinks a little differently than you, and let them push back with love, but push back and make you defend it, and see what holds up. And then build around what holds up. Start over, build around what holds up. The caveat to this is, there are times when your mission statement has to reflect the expectations of your audience. Your mission statement to a funder may be slightly different than the mission statement that you use internally. Are we out of time? Okay.
Yep.
I'll end with that.
Okay. Is there any more questions before we sign off?
And you can email me your questions, and I'll happily address them.
Well, thank you again, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Peter, for a very enlightening and informational 45 minutes with all of us here today. By tomorrow, you should be getting the slides and the recording sent out here. We hope to see you on another Trust Talk. Check our schedule. We have quite a few coming up in the next couple of weeks. Tuesday. So have a great day, everyone. And thank you, Peter.
Thank you, everybody. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you all.
Thanks, Peter.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a lot of great